Ice up. Ice what?
Whoa, whoa, baby, poke it out, poke it out, poke it out.
What's up, everyone? So I'm back again with a video, and I know, for those of you that are in the Discord already know, I botched the recording. I think I said it in my community tab as well. The video I recorded went perfectly, but after I went to go edit it in the editing software, it was completely muted. My mic was disconnected from my computer, and somehow I did not notice that. Isn't that ridiculous? But yeah, I just wanted to make a new series for you guys because we always cover the same stuff, and you always hear my opinions, but I always think that it's not really fair that you guys don't get to get your opinions out as well. So what I'm going to do is we're going to be doing this series called Saints vs. Blank Keys to Victory on a weekly basis. So there will be the matchups to watch, the predictions video, the Madden video, the State of the Saints, and then there will be this, the Saints vs. Blank Keys to Victory. And how this series is going to work, if you're not in the Discord, I will leave the link in the description of this video so you can go ahead and get in on the next time. I pretty much made a separate chat in the Discord where I'll alert everybody when I need them, and I will give you guys a floor to tell me what you think the keys to victory for this game are. So you guys aren't stuck here sitting and listening to my points all the time. You actually have some points from other people, which is always fun no matter what. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Like I said, these are all people from the Discord that made their points known, and they're going to be, in the video. So if you want to be included, go ahead and join. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is Jimmy Garoppolo. And who brought up this point? Chance_24. So what Chance_24 said was, we need to honestly just make Garoppolo uncomfortable. He hasn't proved yet that he can lead his team in the clutch. He lost 2 winnable games against the Seahawks and Ravens. If we can hit him and make him rattled, I think it gives us a really great shot. I agree with that, Chance. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is the man. I don't think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I think he's a pretty mediocre quarterback. A mediocre quarterback that is capable of some pretty flashy plays, as we've seen versus the Baltimore Ravens. He was doing some pitches and some throws while he was getting hit. He's a pretty heads-up guy, but when it comes to being in a big moment, he doesn't seem to have mastered that skill yet, which is perfect, and that's why I don't think the 49ers will be contending for the Super Bowl this year, simply because you can win all the regular season games you got, but as soon as you get on the big stage, you're going to need somebody with the gut of Drew Brees, the gut of Peyton Manning, the gut of Tom Brady, the gut of somebody like that to bring you to a win. It's very rare that a team's first playoff run is a Super Bowl, and it takes a couple of years for the most part. I do agree with what you said, though. He did completely botch that Seattle game. He had opportunities to bring his team down the field, and he didn't do it. You're right. Putting pressure on Jimmy Garoppolo and making him uncomfortable will definitely be a big key to winning this game. And the next quote was by Iwan504. Iwan said, limit the 49ers offense to 250 yards max and protect Drew Brees. No more than 1 sack for the 49ers, and with that defensive line of theirs, they will try to get them sacks. Yes, they will. Our offensive line is going to have to play great. When you have 2 players injured, 2 starting offensive linemen, Teron Armstead and Andreas Pete, that will not be playing in this game most likely. I haven't gotten news on Teron Armstead, but I'll update the comments when I do. It's definitely going to be a little bit hard to defend against a defensive line like this. But I have good news for all of you guys. The 49ers defense has 45 sacks. That is only 1 behind the leader of the league in sacks, and guess who that is? The Carolina Panthers, who we played 2 weeks ago. We held Carolina's defensive line to just 2 sacks. So, the New Orleans Saints offensive line has proved that it is more than serviceable to go ahead and get this game done. I do 100% agree with what you said. We do need to hold their offense down, and we need to protect Drew Brees. Those are 2 more extremely great points on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball, where we just need to go ahead and put our foot down. I agree. Let's move on to the next one. So the next one is going to be by Nick Singer. And what Nick Singer said was, stop Kittle and bully Jimmy Garoppolo. That ties into what I once said. We do need to bully Jimmy Garoppolo, or Chance said that too as well. Get to the quarterback, rattle him, cause pressure. Don't let him be a clear decision-making guy. Let the crowd, a.k.a. the 12th man, go ahead and, help the game for you. Kittle has 687 yards and 3 touchdowns this year. It's definitely going to be a tough task to guard him. What Nick Singer said was, Kittle is basically their number one receiver, and Marshawn Lattimore won't be guarding it because he's a tight end. So the safeties and linebackers need to step up to slow him down. Jimmy Garoppolo has been decent all year, but if we need to get into his head and force 2 to 3 turnovers to win this game. I agree. The San Francisco 49ers offense has been pretty good at not giving the ball away, and the New Orleans Saints have been bad at capitalizing on turnovers. So if we could change those two narratives right there, we have a huge chance to win this game. Let's go ahead and move to the next point, which comes from none other than the giveaway winner himself, Wyatt BDV. What Wyatt BDV said was stop Nick Bosa or at least neutralize him. He didn't really say much more, but there's not much else that needs to be said. We do have to stop Nick Bosa. Now, I don't think he's really one of those guys that, will anchor down your franchise and make sure you never have to sign another defensive lineman again. Not yet, but he will definitely become one of those players. He is a phenomenal young player at that, a phenomenal rookie, someone who's come out and made a huge impact, 8 sacks on the season already, but he isn't no Cameron Jordan. He's not a J.J. Watt yet in his career, but like I said, don't freak out. He will get there. And he's going up against an offensive line that has allowed 3 sacks in the past 3 games. 1 in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, which was a sack on Taysom Hill, so that doesn't really even count, and 2 against the Carolina Panthers. 0 against Atlanta, who had 9 sacks in the past meeting beforehand. So, the offensive line has definitely stepped up. We're definitely doing what we need to do to protect Drew Brees and keep the offense rolling. Make sure to not give up easy drives because we let the quarterback get hit. Taking a sack is never good. It's the number 1 drive killer in the league other than penalties, so we definitely have to do that. I think that someone will step up. We just got to lock down Nick Bosa. Patrick Omameh might be the one dealing with him. I'm not too sure yet on the status of some of our players. I'll make sure to update the comments below like I said before. So yes, Nick Bosa. That's 100% a big deal. Let's move on to the next one. So the next key that was given to us was by the young and generous X the Best. What X the Best said was actually pretty unique. I didn't see anyone else say this at all during the entire time I was communicating with the Discord about this episode. He said, I think we should test Richard Sherman on Michael Thomas. Since Richard Sherman is hurt, I think we throw his way a few times just to test him. Now, Richard Sherman is considered day-to-day heading into this game. He will be missing a few practices this week, so don't get alarmed when you see him on the injury report. He already stated that he will likely miss some practice time, but he thinks he will be ready to play this game. The one thing about that, though, is that Richard Sherman plays on the left side of the field, so odds are him and Michael Thomas don't get matched up very often because Michael Thomas primarily plays on the right side. There will be some plays, however, that Michael Thomas and Richard Sherman do find themselves matched up, and I think that's when you take the shot. The 49ers are smart. They might as well just have Richard Sherman shadow Michael Thomas all game, but they probably likely won't do that. But yeah, I do think it would be smart to go ahead and take some shots at Richard Sherman just to test and see if his injury really is 100% okay. The next key we have is from Criticist. Criticist says, so for one, our running game needs to step up. Latavius Murray stepped up big time when Alvin Kamara was gone, but for now it needs to be AK's time to shine. He hasn't been as explosive as he was before his injury, and last year, he needs to have more than 15 to 20 touches to go off. San Francisco's run defense is 22nd in the league and allows 116.7 yards per game, so expect Latavius and Kamara to get a huge workload. I say it every week, but I feel like this is the game where we involve Alvin Kamara a little more, knowing our opponent's weakness is the running game. The San Francisco 49ers, they're great pass rushing, they're great in coverage, they can play man, they can play zone, but they can't stop the run. So that's definitely going to be something that we need to exploit. I agree with you, Criticist. Let's move on to his next key. He said for number 2, we need to stop their running game. Apparently, they're number 2 for rush in the league, which they are, I believe, but we haven't given up a 100-yard game in forever, so we need to keep that going. Yeah, we have not given up a single 100-yard rusher in about 2.5 years, but it's still very important that we stop them from running total. They have a couple of running backs that can go out there and get a lot of things done. I'll cover that in the predictions video, but the Saints have the number 3 ranked defense as far as rush goes in the NFL. So expect us to anchor down and try to eliminate the rush as much as we can. Something to look out for is that Kiko Alonso, who is a great run-stopping linebacker, and A.J. Klein both went out of the Atlanta Falcons game, and we ended up signing Monte Teo. So that tells me, and I'm pretty sure everybody else, that there might be something going on and lingering with one of the two linebackers that we ended up losing. But we will not know until later today when the injury report comes out. So like I said, I'll go ahead and update you. Let's move on to the next key. The next key is by none other than Joey August. Joey August said, I feel like we could run the ball really well this game. The 49ers gave up 178 rushing yards, which is a lot, last week, so we could do pretty well. Putting Taysom in this week to play like Lamar did last week would benefit us a ton. You're correct. You really are. I think Taysom Hill, especially after that performance he got against the Atlanta Falcons, receiving touchdown, a 30-yard rushing touchdown, a blocked punt, is definitely going to get some more looks this week. I think he's going to be, playing tight end, quarterback, running back, special teamsman, anything. I do think we get Taysom Hill involved. Giving him the ball and letting him run, like you said, is definitely going to be the edge. So every time I've talked to a 49ers fan, they've been saying, the reason that we lost to the Seahawks and the Ravens is that we cannot play mobile quarterbacks. Anyone that we've played this year, we've beaten because they aren't mobile. Well, let me debunk that statement real quick by telling you what quarterbacks they've played this year, regardless of if they're mobile or not. Jameis Winston, Andy Dalton, Mason Rudolph, Baker Mayfield, Jared Overpaid Goff, Case Keenum / Dwayne Haskins, Kyle Allen, Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, who they lost to, Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, and Lamar Jackson, who they lost to. They've played 3 good quarterbacks and a couple of average ones and a bunch of garbage ones, and now all of a sudden they could beat anyone that can't run the football. Any quarterback that can't run the football is automatically doomed. Well, we have this dude right here, Taysom Hill, the Swiss Army knife. He's going to have a big game. I predict Joey August, definitely a huge key to this game. Thank you for bringing that up. Now, let's go to the final key, typed, prepared in MLA format, a beautiful 6-page essay by Ooga Booga Johnson. He says, basically, if we don't have to play Will Clapp anytime during this game, except during like hippo packages, we will have a much easier time. I do agree with that. Will Clapp is not the greatest. He was a 7th-round pick for a reason. The dude will get bulldozed by the San Francisco 49ers a defensive line. He also says, do I think it's impossible to win if an O-lineman goes down? No, but they will definitely put a bruising on Breeze. I think the offensive line staying healthy through this game is going to be a big difference maker. If someone like Eric McCoy goes down, we'll have a bad time. Plus, it'll help open up a run game for AK and Taysom, like you said, we need to use to win if the offensive line plays well. Because Taysom is already a below-average passer, and if he's being rushed, that's not going to go well, and he's not exactly the best at avoiding defenders. He's a bulldozer-type player. If our O-line lets Taysom try and pass a few times, that's going to be real good for us. I think I predict at least 2 passes from Taysom Hill this game. O-line is the key to victory. I'm saying Taysom to cook or Ginn for a big gain or touchdown. That's all. I agree. I think if our offensive line gives Taysom the opportunity to make decisions, to survey the field, and to throw a pass or two, once he gets put in on those option plays, I think that can elevate this offense to a whole new level. Of course, Drew Brees is great, but when you have a guy that can decide if he wants to throw or sprint 70 yards down the field, it's a pretty nice thing to put him in from time to time. The offensive line, like you said, opening up the run game for Latavius Murray and Alvin Kamara will definitely be key. I agree, Ooga Booga Johnson. So, beautiful. Okay, wait. We got news on the injury report right now. 3 Saints did not practice today. What perfect timing to get this Twitter notification. So, as it loads, Andreas Pete did not practice. Kiko Alonso did not practice. AJ Klein did not practice. Teron Armstead was actually limited, and so was Zach Line. So keep looking around for updates for that. I'll be sure to let you guys know what goes on as the days pass. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this series, leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that fancy nonsense, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Adios.
Ballin' like Barkley, wrist so sparkly, internet surfing, feel like iCarly.